Welcome back to my channel. Our topic for today is a little more serious since it's more likely that everyone is dealing with toxic people. Everyone is familiar with the individual who makes you feel worse after talking to them. Perhaps it's a family member who manipulates you, or a coworker who constantly complains about everything. These folks are frequently described as toxic, but it's critical to remember that this phrase lacks a clear definition and is not based in psychology. Instead of just referring to someone as toxic, if you're having trouble working with them, it can be beneficial to identify their harmful habits, like self-indulgence or selfishness, coercion and other forms of emotional abuse, falsehood and deception, having trouble empathizing with people, a propensity to instigate conflict or drama. Does this sound familiar? Continue watching for advice on how to handle this kind of people. 1. Do not reinforce their reality. Some people have a propensity to always portray themselves as the victim. If they make a mistake, they might assign blame to someone else or make up a tale to cast them in a more favorable light. You might be tempted to nod and grin to keep your temper in check, even though it can seem like the safest course of action. Doing this might help them regard you as a friend. Although you might disagree with them, doing so might make them less likely to try and involve you again. 2. Avoid being sucked in. It might be tough to deal with someone's toxic behavior. The person may always have something to say about how others are being treated unfairly, or they may even accuse you of doing them wrong or not caring about their needs. Avoid the impulse to join in their whining or come up with excuses to justify yourself. Instead, say, "I'm sorry you feel that way," and then end the conversation there. 3. Be mindful of how they make you feel. You can sometimes handle interactions with others more effectively by simply becoming more conscious of how their poisonous behavior affects you. The majority of people occasionally speak insensitively or hurtfully. Everyone occasionally has terrible feelings, and being angry can cause you to snap. But consider whether the majority of your relationships are characterized by insults, lies, or other forms of verbal or emotional abuse. Do they express regret or show awareness of how what they say or do impacts you? 4. Speak with them regarding their actions. Someone who spreads rumors, misleads people, or fabricates dramatic situations might not be aware of the impact of their actions on you or anybody else. A candid discussion could persuade them that their actions are inappropriate. Try to stick to statements which feel less accusatory to the other person, and establish boundaries that are practical for you in order to maintain objectivity. 5. Prioritize yourself. On the other hand, behavior can be poisonous without being abusive or vindictive. Other actions could be just as harmful. Maybe every time you encounter them, the individual in question desperately needs your assistance to get them out of a jam, or you feel like their emotional stability depends on you since you always give while they constantly take. Even though you may cherish your relationship with this person, don't put your own health in danger by providing support. 6. Show compassion, but avoid attempting to change them. People are capable of changing, but they must be prepared to put in the necessary effort. Instead of fully erasing someone from your life, you might want to lend a hand to someone you care about. You can always show kindness and sympathy, but you probably can't make people change. They must resolve to exert the effort at the end of the day. Your emotional reserves may be further depleted if you attempt to change someone before they are ready. 7. Say no and walk away. Having trouble saying no to people? It's not just you. It might be difficult to maintain a refusal, particularly when someone attempts to shame you into altering your opinion. However, if you do choose to answer no, don't change your mind. This could be difficult, especially if they act dramatically to get their way. But the more you do it, the simpler it gets to say no to things you don't feel comfortable with. 8. Keep in mind, you are not to blame. Even when you know you didn't do anything wrong, toxic conduct can make you feel guilty. Being attacked by someone who acts toxically is difficult. They could become personal, try to misinterpret what you said, or claim that you're out to get them. You could even start to doubt yourself at some time and try to think of something you might have done. But keep in mind that their actions have nothing to do with you. Set clear limits and make an effort not to take their animosity personally. Take a few deep breaths to relax, or pay attention to their words as they are said so you can let them go without being impacted. 9. Avoid being available. Those who behave toxically often detect who they can control. When they realize their strategies don't work on you, they might leave. They might eventually quit attempting to engage if you are never available. This tactic can be especially useful at work, since you're likely to have a ton of sincere justifications. When you offer your excuses, you can encounter some passive-aggressive comments or direct accusations. Even if you are angry, try to hold your tongue. Do not forget, it is not about you. 10. Limit the amount of time you spend together. Do you dread running into a certain person? Feel tense or worried before? Consider these emotions an indication that you might wish to see them less often. People who engage in harmful behavior frequently prioritize their own needs and desires. They might disregard your feelings or needs and place the blame for any issues they face on you or other people. Spending time with them can be uncomfortable because of this. Consider reducing the amount of time you spend with someone if they frequently step over your limits or pick fights with you. I've known negative folks in the past who were pals. They frequently had a lot of dramatic things going on in their lives, and I tried to train, support, and aid them. They would respond favorably to my advice, saying they would make the modifications I suggested. But what's this? A month or so later, I would have breakfast with them and learned that they were still involved in the same drama. I also realized that they seemed to revel and love it. Drama is something that the pessimistic people in the world love. And trust me, you don't need it in your life. Thank you for watching. Hope I was able to help you in some way. See you again in my next video, and hope you have an excellent day.